السلام عليكم ورحمة الله بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Sisters, this is not a live class, and after thinking about it and looking at Fajr time on my end, I think until after Eid, I will try to do a class every time the trivia questions will still be posted in the group. And once they all answered, I will record the next session and upload it on the YouTube. But I'm not going to have the class at 7 a.m. For the rest of Ramadan. So that's the decision I made. I will also put that in the group for you, inshallah. But just so that you know. Okay, so we are doing Hadith number 26, bi'idhnillah. And hopefully, I think we should be able to do 27 as well today, inshallah. Okay, so Hadith 26 is about the virtue of mending ties, justice, and assistance amongst one another. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم كل سلامة من الناس عليه صدقة كل يوم تطلع فيه الشمس تعدل بين اثنين صدقة وتعين الرجل في دابته فتحمله عليها أو ترفع له عليها متاعه صدقة والكلمة الطيبة صدقة وبكل خطوة تمشيها إلى الصلاة صدقة وتميت الأذى عن الطريق صدقة تميت الأذى عن الطريق صدقة رواه البخاري ومسلم. On the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, who said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, every joint, sulama is in Arabic means joint, like the small bones, like in your feet or hands, like the small bones in the body. Every joint, every single one of them, every sulama, every joint of a person must do a charity every day that the sun rises. Acting justly between two people is a sadaqah, charity. Assisting a man onto his mount or hoisting his belongings onto it is a charity. A good word, al-kalimatu tayyibah, is a charity. Every step, وَبِكُلِّ خُطُوَةٍ تَمْشِيهَا. You know, in the Qur'an, we have خطوات الشيطان, the footsteps of shaitan. So here, خطوات تمشيها, every step you take to perform ila salah, to perform the prayer, is a charity, sadaqah. And removing harmful objects, al-adha, from the roadway, عن الطريق, sadaqah. Related by Bukhari and Muslim. So, this hadith has a lot of benefits. Let's first go into the explanation. For the sulama, every sulama, kullu sulama, must do a charity every day that the sun rises. The Sheikh Uthaymeen says, every bone and joint of a person must do a charity. Subhanallah. Every day that the sun rises. It's not like even once in a while, but every day that the sun rises. It means it is upon the person to give charity every day that the sun rises. Therefore, his statement, kullu sulama, every joint, is the subject. Alayhi sadaqah, must do charity, is the predicate of the subject. And kulla yawm, every day, is a prepositional phrase. The meaning is every day, it is upon every bone of a person to do a charity. SubhanAllah. Being thankful to Allah, the Exalted, for the blessing of preservation and continuance of life. So it's not just you woke up and you think you don't owe anything. You waking up, I used to say that we come into this dunya in debt, because I used to say that, especially to the kids I used to teach. I said, you were born with your 10 fingers, your 10 toes, you know, your breathing ability, your sight, and all of these things, your hearing, your internal organs functioning, digesting, and all of these things. I said, you were born with that. You did not request any of that. You did not ask for any of that. Allah automatically fashioned you and blessed you with everything that you have. You came into this world already in debt. I used to say that, but this hadith is making me think about the statement in an even broader, in a broader light. Basically, we came into this life, into this dunya, in debt, and every day that we are resurrected, because we know when we sleep it's a small death, every day that we are resurrected, we are actually in debt. Every day that we wake up, we are in debt. We wake up in debt. There's not a moment that we're not in debt, subhanAllah. So this is what this hadith is reminding me of. We are in debt because Allah is preserving our body. And it is a debt that each joint, each bone of our body, they have to pay sadaqah. They have to do sadaqah. They have to show gratitude and be used in a way that is pleasing to Allah. So, but the Shaykh says this charity is not solely the charity of wealth. It's not just wealth. Rather, it is of several types. And the previous hadith that we saw, hadith 25, if you guys remember, there are many other ways of giving charity, like subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. These were words that they were sadaqah. Like every time we say it, it's a sadaqah. So there are many other ways to do sadaqah. So here we see additional ways to do sadaqah. So you find two people disputing, arguing, and you judge between them justly. This is a sadaqah. And it is from the best of sadaqah due to the statement of Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah An-Nisa, which is the 4th chapter in the Qur'an, the 4th surah in the Qur'an. And he quotes Ayah 114, right? لا خير في كثير من نجواهم إلا من أمر بصدقة أو معروف أو إصلاح بين الناس. There is no good in most of their secret meetings except him who orders charity, good, and conciliation amongst the people. So this ayah totally reflects this hadith, right? Or this hadith is reflected in this ayah. So another way is to help a man on his mount or to help him with his belongings. So this is the Shaykh says this is also from the types of sadaqah, charity. Assisting your fellow brother Muslim with his mount, either by helping him to mount it if he is not able to do it alone, or hoisting his belongings onto it, meaning he gathers and amasses it. This is also from perfection in worship, ihsan, and Allah loves the good doers. This is something your kids can do. You come back from the groceries, teach them that it's sadaqah to help the mom, pull in the groceries inside, like from the car, anything that you'll be lifting, your kids can do easily tell them that this is sadaqah, so that they don't always think that sadaqah is just, money, which they don't have because they're not working. So yeah, so teach them different ways of sadaqah. Um, I had a friend, she's still alive. I have a friend. I remember one time we were coming from the groceries and she had so many groceries, and the way to her house, you had to go up the stairs to actually get to her house. So, like imagine so many groceries, heavy stuff, and we have to go up and down, up and down, up and down with the groceries. And her husband was sitting watching, I don't know what, a game or something. And I was like, tell your husband to come help us. And she was like, no, he sees me. So if he doesn't get up, then, I'm not going to ask him. There has ego involved in all of this. Like, I didn't understand because personally, I'm always asking. And I remember one sister, she gave me a ride to the store, and then she gave me a ride back. And as soon as I got inside, I called my husband. I said, I'm coming with groceries. Can you come down and help me? And she smiled and she said, Mashallah, Sister Binta, I could never tell my husband that. I said, why? She said, because in our culture, you don't ask the men to do that. I said, what? She said, yeah. But she said, but Mashallah, Imam, he knows the deen, and so he knows that this is sunnah, so mashallah. And I was like, to me, even if it was not sunnah, because at the time I didn't even think about this hadith, I didn't think about this sunnah, I didn't think about, he's getting a reward. It's like sadaqah for him. But I just thought of the fact that, you helping. These groceries are not just for me, it's for all of us to eat. We help each other, right? That's the mindset I had. And I don't mind asking. I'm not just gonna say, oh, he's looking at me, and so he should figure it out on himself. He may not figure it out, and doesn't mean that he doesn't want to help. So I would just ask him until he say, no, I cannot help you. Then, I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna put ego between that. And so it just reminded me of that. It's so little things between husband and wife that you really, we can avoid. Put your ego on the side. You need something, just ask the brother, right? And then this tells you can even tell them, this is sadaqah, and show him the hadith. It's sadaqah for him to help you bring the groceries out. So anyway, moving on. So Allah loves the good doers, right? And so the Sheikh says Allah loves the good doers. And so that's why when you do good, it becomes a sadaqah for you, mashallah. Another type of sadaqah that we've seen in Hadith 25 is the good word, al-kalimatu tayyibah is sadaqah. The good word is every word. So the Sheikh specified what a good word is. It's every word that brings nearness to Allah, such as Subhanallah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, commanding the good, forbidding the evil, reciting the Qur'an, teaching knowledge, and other than that. Every good word is a sadaqah. In my Ramadan coaching program, I asked the sisters different questions because I always, like I said, let's start with the end in mind. So you want to have an amazing Ramadan. What does this Ramadan looks like? That was the first session. The first session was the week before Ramadan. So in the first session, I asked them that question. I said, what do you see yourself doing, saying, feeling? And so I wanted them to be detailed on how they saw themselves, so they should visualize it very clearly. And so some of them said they see themselves saying like kind words, doing dhikr, encouraging words, positive words, And so this reminds me of this, like this, like is as they say that, like I'm going to remind them in the next session. Okay, so if you're doing these things, just know that these things are also sadaqah. Subhanallah. That deen is just amazing. Every step you take to perform the prayer is a charity. So that's pretty self-explanatory. We're not going to the massages, most of us now. But just for the woman, her masjid is her home anyway. So for women, mashallah, tabarakallah, they're not, and the brothers are not losing because they'll get the reward because, you know, they would have gone. That was their habit to go to the masjid. And it's something outside their control. They're not, that prevents them from going. So for those who used to go, they would still get the reward, bi'idhnillah. But for the women, that is nothing changed, right? Your masjid is your home, subhanallah. So where your musalla is, when you make your wudu, the steps to your musalla, you know, just imagine that every step is a sadaqah. So eliminating or removing harmful objects from the roadway is a sadaqah. The Sheikh says it means eliminating any harm along the roadway. Harm is whatever may harm the traveler of water, stones, glass, thorns, or anything else, regardless if it may harm them from the ground or from above, such as if they were dangling branches of a tree that could harm someone. So you remove it. This is a charity. And this is something else that you could do, you know, with your family, especially sometimes in the house, like with kids and toys. It's not on the road outside, but it's on the pathway. So imagine a toy can easily trip somebody. And so you can teach your kids, you know, when you remove a toy, especially the older siblings, you know, I know you saw your little, your younger brother, younger sister with the toys all over the place. But do you know that if you remove it from the pathway so that somebody else will not trip on it, or from the stairway or whatever, do you know that this will be sadaqah for you? So yeah, there's so many things that you could actually teach your kids. It's just knowledge, right? It's just knowledge that we know these now. You know, implement some of these things that we're learning in the Hadith, inshallah. It is upon a person to do a charity every day that the sun rises for each of his numerous bones. It is said that there are 360 bones of the body, and Allah knows best. Everything that brings nearness to Allah, as well as treating the creation well, is a charity. What the Prophet ﷺ mentioned is an example of that. And in another hadith, it says that, another hadith that was kind of similar, this hadith says that وَيَجْزِئُ مِنْ ذَلِكَ رَكْعَتَيْنِ okay وَيَجْزِئُ مِنْ ذَلِكَ رَكْعَتَانِ يَرْعُهُمَا مِنَ الضُّحَى. He is rewarded for that as if he prayed 2 rak'ah. So 2 rak'atayn, right? 2 rak'ah of Salatul Duha. So Salatul Duha is, you can pray, if you pray 2 rak'ah of Salatul Duha, then according to another narration, this will compensate for all the charity that your 360 bones need to do every day. So I was told initially that the Salatul Duha could only be made, you know, time to time, not daily. But after a sister asked me the dalil for that, I asked my husband, and he went back into further research, and he said that actually the opinion that he taught, that, you know, time to time, is not the strongest opinion. And he said the strongest opinion is that you can do it daily if you wish to. So alhamdulillah, we have a solution, sisters. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. But this hadith is really, really, really deep. So much to say about it, really. Like, there's, like, again, just for me, it teaches us that we should be more and more involved in good deeds, because we're in debt. We have so much to, and even with all the good deeds that we do, even with that, we will never be out of debt. We will never praise Allah as much as he needs to be praised. We will never thank Allah as much as he deserves to be thanked, right? Meaning we will never fulfill the obligations of praising Allah and thanking him in the best way, right? So we're always in debt, but this should motivate us. It should make us, like, not relax and not think that, oh, you know, I'm good. No, it should, like, make us think, what good can I do? And if an opportunity for good comes, then it will make us rush to do it, because we understand our current state a reality is that we are completely in debt. And I think also that this hadith is teaching us not to take our blessings for granted, you know, not to think that you have all these blessings and there's nothing on you to do, right? Okay, so hadith number 27, we have 10 minutes. Hadith 27 says, عن النواس ابن سمعان رضي الله تعالى عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم قال البر حسن الخلق والإثم ما حاك في نفسك وكرهت أن يطلع عليه الناس رواه مسلم. And there's another hadith. وعن وابصة ابن معبد رضي الله تعالى عنه قال أتيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم فقال جئت تسأل عن البر قلت نعم قال استفتي قلبك البر ما اطمأنت إليه النفس واطمأن إليه القلب والإثم ما حاك في النفس وتردد في الصدر وإن أفتاك الناس وأفتوك. And so this is Hadith Hasan رويناه في مسندي الإمامين أحمد بن حنبل والدارمي بإسناد حسن. On the authority of النواس ibn Sam'an رضي الله عنه that the Prophet ﷺ said righteousness, al-bir, is good character, husnul khuluq. And a sin, wal-ithmu, ma haka fi nafsik. And a sin is what wavers in your soul, what disturbs the soul. وَكَرِهْتَ, and you dislike. So, and what you dislike, that أَن يَطَّلِعَ عَلَيْهِ النَّاسِ, that it is exposed to the people. So a sin is what wavers in your soul and you dislike that it is exposed to the people, related by Muslim. And the other hadith mentioned, وعن وابصة ibn Ma'bad radiyallahu ta'ala anh said, I came to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, جئت تسأل عن البر, you have come to ask about righteousness? I said, نعم. He said, استفتي قلبك, consult your heart. البر ما اطمأنت إليه النفس. Righteousness brings serenity. It brings serenity to the soul and tranquility to the heart. وأطمأن إليه قلب. Right? وَإِطْمَأَنَّ إِلَيْهِ قَلْبٍ. I think it's ito. وَالْإِثْمُ مَا حَكَ, and the sin is what disturbs في نفس, in the soul, what disturbs your soul. وَتَرَدَّدَ فِي الصَّدْرِ, and pulses to and from in the chest, even though وَإِنْ أَفْتَاكَ النَّاسِ, even though the people give you the opinion, وَأَفْتَوْكَ, again and again. This hadith is Hasan, and it's related in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal and Imam ad-Darimi with a Hasan chain. So the first hadith is a stronger hadith, but both hadith are kind of they complement each other. So, and Nawawi is bringing both of them together. So Al-birru husnul khuluq, righteousness is good character. The Sheikh says, good character, a person that is considerate, open-minded, has a serene heart, and excellent interaction with the people. Thus, if a person has good character with Allah and with the servants of Allah, he will obtain an abundance of good, be open-minded to Islam, his heart will be serene with Iman, and he will interact with the people in good character. As for the sin, ithm, the Prophet ﷺ said, it's what disturbs, what wavers in your soul. He was speaking to An-Nawas ibn Sam'an, and An-Nawas ibn Sam'an is a noble companion. He did not waver in his soul, have doubt. He didn't have doubt in his soul, nor did he feel restless in his soul, except that it was a sin. Due to this, he said, what wavers in your soul, and you dislike that it is exposed to the people. So the Sheikh says, as for the sinful and disobedient, sins do not trouble their souls. Subhanallah. Sins do not trouble their souls, nor do they dislike them being exposed to the people. Rather, some of them boast and inform others of the sin and disobedience they commit. I knew a brother on social media, may Allah forgive us. He's in his profile, he has he loves X-rated movies. And his favorite book is the Qur'an. In the same, Allah Akbar, the same page, you have the Qur'an, that's your favorite book, and your favorite movies are X-ray blue movies. And he thinks he's being cool with that, but he doesn't realize the subhanallah. So yes, you don't, lack of knowledge, lack of knowledge. Truly, if Quran is our favorite book, there's a lot of things we're not going to do. It's going to be reflected. So it's not, a lot of us are claiming, we're just claiming, but we need to implement what we say. May Allah guide us. So the disobedient, they boast, they expose to the people, their sins. They're not disturbed by it. They want attention. They want people to laugh and things like that. And they want to, I don't know, I guess attention. So, but when the obedient person, when they commit a sin, it worries their soul. They dislike that it is exposed to the people. They feel shy of it. And this is the scale that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned amongst the good and righteous people. So the Shaykh is basically saying that the definition of what a sin is, this definition is not just for everybody, because for some people who are disobedient, it's not going to disturb them. But for those who are obedient and they sin, they're going to feel bad inside of themselves. They're like, no, I should not have done that. I feel bad about this, right? So then they know that this was a sin, right? They would know automatically they didn't do something right. But for those who automatically disobey constantly, this is not going to be a criteria for them. So the second hadith where it says, I came to the Messenger of Allah and he said, you have come to ask about righteousness. I said, yes. He said, consult your heart. It means here, do not ask anyone. Ask your heart and seek consultation from it. Righteousness brings serenity to the soul and tranquility to the heart. So whenever you find your soul serene and your heart tranquil towards something, do it. Sin is what wavers in the soul. If you see this something waver in your soul, pulsating back and forth in your chest, it is a sin. So stay away from it. Even though the people give you their opinion again and again. Here it means even if a person informs you that it is not a sin repeatedly, this occurs frequently, you find a person that is in doubt about something, he is restless about it, he's uncomfortable, the people say to him, this is permissible, this is halal, no problem with this. All the while he is not open to it, nor does his soul feel at peace with it. Therefore it is said, the likes of this is sin, so abstain from it. It's better for you to avoid it. From the benefits of this hadith, as well as the hadith that preceded it, is the virtue of good character, right? The scale of weighing sin is it wavering in the soul and the heart not being tranquil with it. And again, that's for people who are usually obedient, right? The heart is not completely hard. I have other benefits. It's 29 minutes into the time. I have a meeting in 1 minute. So we're almost done. We just have one page left, but I don't want to be late for my meeting. So we'll stop here, bi'idhnillah, and we'll finish it inshallah next week. The trivia questions will still follow bi'idhnillah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.